We Real Reels. Welcome to We Real Reels, the monthly podcast where we review old movies to find out if they are as good as we remember or if they shoot off your pinky toe. I'm your host, Panda Brandon, and with me is my half-brother, the Grizzly Zay.
Hello.
And the beautiful Koala Sam.
Hello.
This podcast does contain spoilers, and we'll be discussing the movie at length. This is a mature content podcast, so be prepared for harsh language and awkward situations. All sound clips, music, and trailers are only used for review purposes and belong to their respective owners. This podcast is sponsored by The Collector's Comic Book Store in Lebanon, Tennessee. Follow us at The Collector's Toys on Instagram and Facebook. This podcast is also listener supported. Follow the link in the episode description and support us any way you can. So guys, y'all ready for the hypothetical for this month?
Ooh, let's go.
Yes.
All right, so it's kind of a two-way. How would Ray and Quick do in the jungle with Tarzan?
Oh, they're going to be burned on his ass.
Just in there roasting him.
Oh, they're going to roast him, bro. Over a fire, man.
That's funny.
You'll make Tarzan commit some acts against itself.
And what about how would Tarzan do if Ray and Quick had brought him to the city?
Not good. I don't think Tarzan would be good in a city
He'll be their muscle.
city scene.
I don't know. I think he'll be freaked out, but he'll be the muscle whenever he starts getting everything. So he's going to be collecting money and like jumping off rooftops and shit. I guess.
I don't know. Tarzan is such a motivator for personal reasons. Like, he wanted Jane, so he wanted to protect her and save her. So I think if he's not motivated in the city, I don't think they could get him to do anything unless Ray and Quick ended up taking Jane and were like, hey, you're going to be the muscle man for me, and then you can get Jane back. Because I just don't see him doing anything just for money, because he's not motivated by money. So what can they give him to want him to work for them?
You're probably right on that. I see that.
Did you ever watch I don't know if it's a TV series, but the movie Tarzan and Jane? They ended up making a dock and having like what is it called, where it's a port where there's a store or something. So a whole bunch of people kept trying to come and do bad things. Well, Tarzan was pretty much the sheriff of the jungle, but because he loves the jungle, he would do anything to protect the jungle.
Right.
So I just don't see him motivated to do anything for them.
Well, okay. But I mean, if he's convinced to do things the way that city people do, I think he'd join on in.
Maybe.
Is this good, Quick? Is this good? Crack neck. Okay, let's get into our first segment of what you been doing and what you gonna do.
Hey, watch it, pal. What have you been doing? What are you gonna do, huh?
All right, so let's start off with you, Koala. What have you been doing this past month?
So I went to my grandma's in Illinois. It was a really good time spending with the family. I don't get to see them too often. I think the last time I seen them was a couple of years ago. I was able to see my sister that lives in Oregon and her kiddo. So overall, it was a good time. I have such a soft spot for grandma, so always seeing her, it's always a joy to see her. And the other thing that I want to say about last month is I ended up helping a lost kid at the library. So I ended up leaving the library. Whenever I back up out of the parking space, I don't rely on my mirrors. So I always look left, right, behind me, and then I go with my the backup mirror or backup camera. So when I looked left, I seen this guy in a white shirt and a little kid. He was like maybe 1.5, 2. So I seen them walking towards the library. So when I backed out of space and I started to go out of the library to get on the road, I didn't see the guy no more. But the kid was crying at the end of the sidewalk. So I ended up in an instance, I'm like, should I even stop? Like, this is something that could go bad and could go bad on me. Like, I'm acting like I'm still a kid, but I'm like, okay, if my kid was lost or something like that, I would want somebody to do it. And I'm not a predator, so I would want somebody who has good intentions. So I was like, so I ended up backing up real quick. The kid immediately ran to my car. So I'm like, crap. So I hurried up and parked. I grabbed my purse. I didn't grab my gun, which Panda's not too happy about it. But I did in my purse have a pocket knife and pepper spray. So I wasn't not completely protected. So I ended up grabbing him. I ended up hurrying up and grabbing his hand because I didn't want him to run away. So I was like, okay, we're going to go find your kid or like your parents. So I went into the library and I talked to them. I was like, hey, this kid was outside screaming at the end of the sidewalk. And they're like, what are you wanting us to do about it? I'm like, I don't know. I'm hoping you can kind of take this kid from me. Like, I don't want to be the one responsible. So the guy ended up getting the manager and we walked around and I found them. And the little kid ended up saying mama. So we're like, okay, this should be the parents. I walked up to them. The lady started laughing and she's like, oh, where was he at? I was like, he was outside. And she just kept laughing. I'm like, this bitch gonna piss me off. So the library lady was like, do you know this kid? She's like, oh, it's my little brother. So at that point, I'm like, okay, this lady's either on drugs or she just does not fucking care. So I'm like, here's your child. And I walked away because I was like, that was one of my fears and still is for my child to be lost and somebody taken. And here she is just thinking it's the most funny thing in the world. So I'm like, I need to leave before I literally punched this lady out. And that was it. Someone's like, okay, that's the good deed for, I don't know, the freaking month. But I just feel so bad for that child. He was so scared and they didn't even care. Like, they were just laughing. I'm like, this lady. So yeah, it was kind of eventful. What I'll do next month is I'm hoping to cash in my points through my Vitality app to be able to get one of those treadmills that I can put underneath my desk and be able to walk while I work. And then I'm going to start setting up little hiking and kayaking adventures to get that going. So I'm hoping can do that like once a month. And then just finalize our Disney August trip. I'm super excited about that.
How about that?
Yeah, it's kind of a lot. I'm excited. Who's next? Grizz or Panda?
Oh, I'll go next.
Okay.
Last month, I had watched some crazy movies. I watched one called Basket Case, and it is about twin brothers they're like conjoined twins, and they were separated from each other like later on in life. And the one brother he's like a full regular human. Well, the other one is it's like a baby-sized human, but it's mostly a head and some arms. And the regular one keeps that one in a basket. And I don't know, I guess his mission is to go and kill the doctors that separated them.
Did they not give permission to do the separation?
Maybe not from the kid. I mean, the parents didn't like it, so they threw the ugly thing away, whatever this little creature was. And yeah, the one brother found it, and they were like, all right, we're going to go kill the doctors that did this. It was a crazy-ass, whack-ass movie, bro.
So it's not supposed to be a comedy?
No, this was serious. It was, yeah, it was something, man. It was crazy. That's all I can say about that.
Hell.
And recently, I've been on this self-reflection kick, okay? And the source of it is to stop and hold oneself accountable for life. So, for example, if your kid gets like a bad report card from school, or even just a bad report, hey, your kid didn't do good today, don't blame the teacher, okay? More often than not, your kid's a spoiled little brat, but sometimes the teachers are little assholes. But I'm just saying, self-reflection, you know what I'm saying? You take it as your responsibility to make your kid do better, you know? And if you find proof that the teacher is favoritism, doesn't like your kid or whatever, but that can't be the solution every time. You know, if your kid's going to 5 or 6 different classes, 5 or 6 different teachers are saying the same thing, and you're like, these teachers they're just hating my kid. Is it them or is it your kid? Self-reflection. You know, what can I do to make sure my kid has a better day at school? So it's just taking responsibility for stuff and not, when something negative comes your way, they try to bounce it off on something else or somebody else. So I've been really on that lately. Let's say you have an argument between your spouse and child, or your brothers and sisters, or mom and dad, whatever. You're fighting with family, and there's three parties. You know, there's say your mom and Grizz, your sister. They're going at each other, arguing. You could say something to end it all. You know, just you could just be like, "Hey, I was there. None of that happened. You don't have to worry about it, Mom." You could say that. But you not choosing to say anything because you're like, "Oh, I just don't want the drama. I just want to stay out of it," is creating more drama. So why not take responsibility and be like, "Hey, no, Ma, she didn't run the red side, the red light. A car just came and hit her from the side. We had to agree," and it end the conversation. But you not doing that, that's need some self-reflection. You know, you need some self-reflection to be like, you know what? I could be the better person and stop this argument between my family because my family's supposed to be whole. You know, that's a responsibility thing. I'm just trying to give different examples of self-reflection, you know, like something that you could do to make situations better. But a lot of people don't, just, I don't know, because they don't. They're not good people. They just sit by and they blame all their problems on others. And I had this real like deep conversation with one of my customers named Spencer. And do we agree on the same thing? We both have narcissists in our families, and they can't be blamed for anything. Nothing's their fault. They were minding their own business in every situation. And whenever things happen, it's somebody else's fault. And then they twist the story to make it seem like, yeah, this person's the bad guy over here, even though, bro, it was you. You're the one that stepped on his toes or whatever you did. But no. And then we also agreed that narcissists, one, they don't apologize. But if they do apologize, it's always you or we. It's never I'm sorry. It's, oh man, you know, I'm sorry that you saw it that way. I'm sorry that you took it that way. I'm sorry that you understood it in that way, instead of saying, you know, hey, I'm sorry that I did that. Or, hey, we were both wrong. You know, we were both wrong. Just take responsibility, bro. You did it. Just say it. I'm sorry. It's not hard. So that's a little kick I've been on lately, man. And I've really been trying to focus on that. I think it makes people a better person, man. Just self-reflection, seeing what you did wrong, and just saying, hey, yeah, I could have done better. So do better. So I'm trying to do that for myself, man. I'm trying to look at every day and be like, you know what, hey, I could do better. I'm sorry I cut this person off. Hey, I'm sorry to my kid for, you know, saying bad words or something. You know, just something that I know that I could do. And I think him seeing me apologize, letting him know, okay, it's okay to apologize. You know, it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to make mistakes. You can do that. Yeah, I've been on that lately. I'm sorry. That was a little long, but it was deep. It was deep, man.
You went on a tangent.
I watched Baby's Day Out, which is an old movie I used to watch when I was a kid. It was an amazing movie. And then we watched The Mask with Jim Carrey. So just going on to some old movies. They were pretty great. And then next month, I don't think I'm going to be doing much of anything. I think I'm getting back into dog training. So that's something. I did do Spider-Man last month, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, I got to be Spider-Man for one of my friends' birthday parties.
Nice.
Yeah, it was something. It was something.
I feel like we're a little late, but still
a little
enjoyed.
late to the party, yeah. But it was awesome. Kid enjoyed it, man. He was kind of scared of Spider-Man first, but, you know, he got around to him. He warmed up. Grizz, how about you?
All right. So, as you guys know, my last what you trying to do was I wanted to fix more of my truck because I kept getting tired of just everything going wrong and me not having enough to pay at that time. And I'm glad to say that 2 things went wrong with my truck and I fixed both of them. Yay. So it's this little fuel thing that was in my truck. It's like a little a piece that's like hooked to my gas tank. And I had to like reach up in there because my hands are big. I was like able to, it's a little tab I have to pull and then twist it. Mm-hmm. And it was uncomfortable. And the piece was like $35. But if I would have got a shop to do it, they would have charged me like $120.
Of course.
So I did it myself. I had the little ramps. I backed it up. I was up under there for like 5 or 10 minutes. Unhooked it because it's some hoses and a like a little fuse thing to it. So I unhooked both of those. Grabbed the tab, flipped it, pulled the whole plastic thing out, put the new one in, clipped everything in, the light went away. It was perfect. So I'm going to try to do a little more of that. My check engine light is on again.
No.
And as long as it's not anything to do with the engine, I think I'm going to try to fix it myself again. Okay. Yeah, I've been doing my own oil changes.
How did that go?
It was good.
Good.
Other than I need these socket wrenches that fit above my the oil filter part. If I can get those, I can do it easily. But right now, I got these freaking huge pliers that I can't get around. It's pisses me off. But like I said, I'm getting it down, saving some money. Speaking of Koala doing the good thing, this happened a couple of days ago. Is I was taking my dogs out, and normally I just stay out there with them to make sure they don't run off or somebody runs by and they run after them. I hear somebody knocking on the window, just beating, do. Help me, get me out of this room. I can't get out. And I'm like, because I'm not hearing everything that they're saying because it's muffled. So I'm like, I'm trying to intently listen. I got the dogs barking. I got the AC unit going in the back. I'm like, bro, I know I'm not hearing this shit. Do. Help me, I can't get out. So I tell the dogs get in. And normally they would like lollygagging around, peeing and stuff. These motherfuckers they got it. Like as soon as I said get in, they just, what? Get in? Fucking got inside the house. I closed the door. I grabbed my gun, grabbed my wallet to let these motherfuckers know I'm legal.
Smart.
Yeah. And so like I started getting closer to the fence because it's my neighbor's neighbor. They're screaming. And this guy, my actual neighbor, was playing like loud music. So that was another reason why I couldn't hear it clearly. So I knock on the door. He cuts his music off. And I'm like, hey, come to your fence line because I think I hear something crazy. We go over there. There's not a peep. Not a sound. There's nothing. So I'm like, man, either this woman's dead or something bad happened. I don't know what the hell's going on. So this dude starts telling me, oh man, this bitch is crazy. She's not even allowed on my property. All this other stuff. We're about to walk off. We're like, all right, man, thank you for letting me know. Or thank you for coming over and checking. And as soon as we're about to walk away, help me, get me out of this room. We looked at each other. I pull my gun out. I look at the gun. I look at him. He's like, nah, man, we black. You need to call the cops. I'm like, okay. So I put the gun away. I called the cops. 2 minutes later, they came rushing down. We told the cop, like, what's going on? He knocked on the door. She started knocking back on the door. Let me out of this room. So they pull out their gun. Now, all of us got guns. Cops pull out their fucking flashlight. So they go around and they go inside this lady's house, and it's night terrors. They tell us that she was having night terrors, knocking on her window and screaming, get me out of this room. So yeah, that gave me a little heart attack right before I was supposed to go to sleep. I stayed up after like 2 hours for that. But all in all, I think I did a good deed because if it was actually an emergency,
right? I
don't want that on my conscience, you know. But at least I was able to, you know, not be the type of person to be like, oh, I don't hear nothing.
Just ignore it.
It's muffled. I'm going to just go to sleep. I got to go to work in the morning. So I'm glad at least I did that. Only thing that cost me was maybe a minute late clocking in to work. And I told my manager, he was like, you know what? I'm going to clock you in on time, bro. Thank you. Like, oh, shit, good shit. Yeah, but that's it. Next month, I think doing the same thing, going ahead and trying to fix my truck a little more. Make sure there's no check engine lights or tires wrong or anything. I think that's it for me. Going to try to make Matt get a car now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so if he can get a car, he can finish this job straight up because Kay's mileage is kind of going up,
Well, she has to get up a couple hours early, and then he waits like a few hours after.
Yeah. So we'll see how that works out. As long as he can get one, we ain't got to put too much money on these cars. And I think that'll be helpful for me.
Right.
Yeah, that'll be all right.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Grizz. Well, after that, I hope you're ready to inform us, Grizz, on the anime you've going to be reviewing this time for your Grizzly's Anime and Arms.
It's over 9,000.
Hey, anime fans, what's up, y'all? So I'm going to do one normally I try to do one that's kind of relevant. It's relevant is the word, sorry. I was going to say something else. To the movie that we have. But this one I got too excited about. I had already started to do this one before. I think I started doing like 2 or 3 months once it started to like me starting to resonate with me. So this one is called Solo Leveling. And this one came out in 2024 and it quickly gotten one of my favorites. I think top 15. It's good. It won, I think, in South Korea, because that's where it came from. It won like Anime of the Year there.
Dang,
That's
already?
where it's from, yeah. And it's like, I'll get into it. Sorry. So Solo Leveling is alternatively translated to Only I Level Up. It's a South Korean web novel written by Chu Gong. It is serialized in Kakao's digital comic and fiction platform starting in 2016. And that's when little comic web thing was popping off back in the day. And it became one of the most popular animes around the world within like 2 years. And I think whenever you look at the anime, you'll see like they put so much production in all of these. So the studio that picked it up was A1, and it's licensed by Crunchyroll, and it dropped in 2024, January 7th. And it only has 12 episodes, so one season, and it only finished a few weeks ago. On animation alone, it costs $2 million to make 12 episodes. That's around $167,000 for each episode. And they move everything around to put good fight scenes in on each other. And I think that's about 10 times the amount that normal animes get. So all the ones that like, oh, I've seen this one. It's like, it's okay. They probably put $200,000 in that. Not much at all. This one, was like, well, it's already one of the most popular animes in the world, starting in 2016. $2 million. There you go. That's rare. But since everything dropped, they made over $100 million in revenue and merch since this came out. So let me go ahead and give you guys the synopsis. So 10 years ago, the gates appeared that connected the real world with the realm of magic and monsters. To combat this, there's humans. The humans are introduced with superhuman abilities. These guys are known as hunters. And this, where they introduced the main character, his name is Sung In Woo, South Korean. So you guys, it's kind of hard to keep saying that. So I'm going to just introduce him as Sung now. And he is known as the world's weakest hunter with the power level of E rank. But he still tries to hunt monsters to save his mom's life and pay her medical bills because she got into a coma, like an everlasting coma that she can't get out of. And so there's all types of levels from E to S, and no amount of training can get you to move up in rank. This is kind of where the story starts off, is because he's in some of these like low level. His only thing he can do is E, and he's getting hospitalized. And this is the rarest thing to happen, is that nobody gets hurt in E rank levels. Nobody, except for this guy, because he's so weak.
How did he become a hunter in the first place?
Well, you only need a little bit of magic power. Mm-hmm. And if you do that, then you can get ranked as E, D, C. Yeah, so he has just a tiny bit amount of magic power. So in one of these, they have this ultra rare and dangerous opportunity pop up, and it's called a double dungeon. And normally double dungeons are E to E, C to C, D to D. This one was E to S rank. And there's this hunter group that tried to go in and thinking that, hey, this is a great opportunity for us. They go in, almost everybody gets destroyed, but there's these stipulations that you have to follow to like get out alive. Nobody wanted to listen to Sung. He figured out, hey, you have to do this, this, and this, and we might be able to survive. Everybody ran away. And so with him being the only survivor and him clearing all the stuff that he had to do, he got this mysterious power called the system. And the system gives him daily prompts and goals to hit each day that'll give him stat points so he can level up. So he's the only one in the world that he can go from E level to high above S.
That's interesting.
Yes. And I love this because there's not much of a storyline except for like him getting stronger.
Okay.
And going into these dungeons and like beating these dungeons himself. It's like, yeah, he has a little sister and you barely see her. You barely see his mom. Like there's not much people in here. It just shows him grinding his stats to do all this other stuff. But the fighting is otherworldly. Panda, you know that, what's that one? Ninja Kumui.
Oh,
Yeah, at the beginning, we were so excited. They had the best fighting scenes.
Oh, my goodness.
And then, you know what happened? They ran out of the budget. And so they started doing this.
Oh, man.
Doing what, robots now?
Yeah, they're like CGI kind of
yeah.
I don't know what happened. It went from like John Wick to like Blade Runner or Ghost in the Shell movie type stuff. It was weird.
It was horrible. That's because they ran out of the budget that they had. They had to make it up somehow, so they just got cheaper CGI, cheaper writers, cheaper storylines, and that's what you get. That's what you get. But this one right here, consistently throughout the whole thing, they keep up the fighting and the animation and the story so well that you get super invested within the third episode because you're rooting for this guy. Because at the beginning, he's like some small kid that's like, oh, he's weak. You can tell he's weak. By the third or fourth episode, he's totally unrecognizable. He has abs. He grew like 6, 7 feet. It's crazy. Not 6, 7 feet, 6, 7 inches. Yeah, he was tall.
Them giants.
But it's like the second day in the hospital after he got hurt, he has abs from doing this stuff. So, and I think by the second or third day, he clears his first dungeon. And the dungeon's supposed to be held by at least 8 people, I believe. He was doing them by himself within a couple of days. So,
But he's no longer getting hurt.
He's no longer getting hurt. He has self-healing abilities now.
Dang.
Yeah, I think this is amazing. If you guys, please give this a shot. I believe this will be one of your top animes that you would want to see.
Well, we can definitely replace that Ninja
Complete.
Yeah, because we were trying to keep up with that one, but
Yeah.
we're kind of like done.
Thanks for that, Grizz. It was called Solo Leveling.
Solo Leveling.
All right. Well, hope you're ready for some new intro music for Panda Tales, because I've been working on something for you guys. I hope you like it.
Is it Panda Tales? Panda Tales.
Oh, man, that would have been better.
Panda Tales.
Dang.
Oh, dang.
I do like that. I'm sorry. No, it's this right here.
Sit back and prepare yourself for Panda Tales.
All right, guys. What y'all think about that?
Pretty good.
I like it.
Good.
Okay. Well, today for Panda Tales, I'm going to be bringing you a story related to our movie, as you know. And this one is about Madame Stephanie St. Clair. Who is she, you may be asking? Well, let me tell you. She was an entrepreneur and was really good with numbers and had a skill for minting cash during the Great Depression. In the 20th century, she found herself barred from traditional white-dominated financial businesses like banking and investing, but she made her own fortune in the numbers game. She faced down corrupt cops and violent mobsters and became one of the illegal betting's most successful operators while putting her money into legitimate black-owned businesses and working to lift up other African Americans at the time. During the 1920s and 30s, as millions of African Americans joined the Great Migration, which the Great Migration was the relocation of more than 6 billion black Americans.
I thought it was 6 million
Yeah,
on the way
6
to
million.
California. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 million. Billions, that's a lot of people. I don't know. There's like 6 billion people on the earth right now. How many black people in America, bro? Okay, 6 million black Americans from the rural South to the cities of the North, Midwest, and West from about 1916 to 1970. Driven from their homes by unsatisfactory economic opportunities and harsh segregationist laws, many black Americans hidden north where they took advantage of the need for industrial workers and arose during the First World War. During the Great Migration, black people began to build a new place for themselves and public life, actively confronting racial prejudice as well as economic, political, and social challenges to create a black urban culture that would exert enormous influence in the decades to come. But Harlem specifically became a center for black art, music, and the literary scene, just like the Harlem Renaissance flourished, and so did illegal betting.
Ooh.
So it's a lottery called Policy or the Numbers. Now in numbers, players pick 3 numbers between 000 and 999. And their goal will be to match whatever numbers were drawn on the daily. So like from the New York Stock Exchange, the Federal Reserve's end of day credit balance, and other really popular financial institutions. So you'd give your slip and money to a bookie, and the bookie would give the papers or policy slips to a runner. And then you would wait until the next day in New York Stock Exchange, if that's what you were going, or on the horse races or whatever's going on. They would base it off those last three digits. And that would decide who was going to be what was going to be the winning number. So like the Federal Reserve's end of day credit balance, the last three digits, if you got them, boom, those are the winning numbers. So whoever won, they would get the money. Numbers gambling enabled many African Americans to supplement low wages and attain economic security, writes LaShawn Harris of the Michigan State University history professor. There isn't much on where St. Clair grew up or her early life, but it's believed that she was born in the French West Indies. And it's also unclear on when or how she made her way to New York and how she got the initial funds for the bank. But on her best days, according to Harris, St. Clair was earning $200,000 a year with 40 to 50 runners, 10 trollers, and several bodyguards. She lived in one of Harlem's prestigious buildings. She also invested in other real estate and was known for her exotic fashion. The black people that lived in Harlem loved her and gave her the name Numbers Queen because she employed countless black men and women as number runners. She financially helped out numerous real black businesses and because she was so openly against inequality and racism, she was praised for her bravery in not backing down and standing up to white racketeers such as Arthur Dutch Schultz. Flanagan Man. Okay? There's his name, Flanagan Man, who tried to muscle in on her black policy banker's business. In March of 1930, she was convicted and sentenced to 8 months in a work camp for possession of policy slips. And policy slips are like the Powerball number tickets, when you get that's what that is. When she was released, she spoke in court in an investigation on the corruption in New York's police department. So she told them that she paid them $6,600 to protect her runners from scrutiny, which led to more than a dozen police officers being suspended. Since 1930, Sinclair has been exposing police corruption in news articles from the Amsterdam News, which was a black-owned paper. She says, "I don't understand how these police, who are supposed to be the protection of the people, can make raids for so-called policy slips when these same men are participating of the game themselves." She also placed ads in the same newspaper telling African Americans of their civil liberties. She tells them, quote, "To the members of my race, if officers meet you on the street and suspect you have anything, do not let them search you on the street or do not let them take you to an alleyway or hallway to be searched. If the police should ring your doorbell and you open your door, refuse to let them in without a search warrant." And during the 1920s, the Harlem's racketeering went pretty much unnoticed by white racketeers because they were making so much money on the alcohol. But when the repeal of Prohibition slashed the bootlegging profits, a guy named Dutch Schultz and other mobsters who'd gotten rich on the legal booze took notice of the black bankers and how wealthy they seemed and how much they were making from the numbers game, and they saw it as a lucrative business. And they wanted to have it for themselves.
Of course.
That's right. And they weren't afraid to use violence. St. Clair was not afraid to put up a bitter fight either. She used a newspaper that she had been using to put the ads in and telling black customers to only buy a policy slip from black number runners, while she and her men took on different kinds of fear tactic campaigns against the white store owners that were helping out Schultz. In retaliation of that, Schultz ordered hits on some of her men and placed a contract on her herself. And that forced her into hiding, briefly to escape the hitmen that was after her in 1935. But their battle ended in 1935 when Schultz was shot dead by a rival gang member. But by then, the mob's forcing into Harlem's racket was already solid. Before the mob had moved in, there were over 30 black banks doing number runnings, and whenever the feud was over, she said there was probably half a dozen. St. Clair said that her battle with Schultz, she spent 820 days in jail and $750,000 $1 million. Soon after she quit the numbers game, but her trouble with the law continued. because in 1936 she married Sufi Abdul Hamid, a controversial African-American religious and labor leader. 2 years into their marriage, St. Clair shot Hamid, suspecting him of an affair. Convicted of first-degree murder, assault, and possession of concealed weapon, she received a 10-year sentence, and she served her sentence and was released. After that, she mostly lived by herself in Harlem, and she ended up dying in 1969 at a Long Island psychiatric facility. But if it wasn't for her, then Harlem's racketeering game would not be as profitable as it was, because the street numbers business did great numbers for Harlem's economy for decades, generating an estimated $800 million to $1.5 billion annually by 1980. Now, that's according to the New York Times, but that year, New York launched its first state-run daily lottery, spurring the racket's decline and a huge hit to the numbers game there and all the jobs. But for St. Clair, the numbers game wasn't just about making illegal money. It was a way for her to provide for her community, to help have a great future for black people all around her. St. Clair's life symbolized the often untold narratives and experiences of black men and women who use the informal economy and crime as ways to creatively confront race, gender, and class oppression. End quote. And this information comes from thehistory.com and was written by Pharrell Evans. And that's the end of my Panda Tales. So, man, it's not too far off from the movie. I mean, she had her own little illegal business.
Yeah, other than the double cross that happens in the movie.
The gangsters wanted it.
Yeah.
Calhoun tried to come move in. When this place Schultz tried to move in. No, not too far, not too far.
Yeah, great your own shit, motherfucker.
I'm curious on how she only got 10 years for murdering somebody.
Oh, my God, first degree
Well,
murder.
that's different back in the day, right? Especially for women. They didn't think that women can do, like, aggressive shit back in the day.
It's not.
guess.
You must have.
Unless she paid somebody off with all that money.
Passion. I mean, she did have a lot of money. Well,
Could be it.
let's get into our movie review. But before we do, we always enjoy our movie review with a nice adult beverage. And this time, it's Distiller's Pride Sour. Distiller's Pride, in the opinion of those who know real Kentucky whiskey, represent the best of Kentucky's proud whiskey heritage, utilizing choice grains and pure limestone water. This whiskey is distilled under a time-endorsed formula. It is carefully stored in fine, reused oak cooperage for 36 months and sealed in glass at full maturity to create the perfect Kentucky whiskey. I couldn't find any movies this thing is. I couldn't even find a website for this thing. It's weird. I don't know what's up with this one. But let's give it all a shot.
I think this is the one that doesn't have a great flavor, right?
Down by the river.
This reminds me of velvet whiskey. You can get a handle for $8.
Wow. Well, don't want that.
We're trying so hard not to drop any.
Oh, man. It's back when we didn't have that much money and we would try to always go out. It's like, let's just get some velvet, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit will turn you to a man.
Yeah. That's not all that good.
Nope, not at all. It's terrible with root beer.
Well, that's probably a reason I couldn't find the website. Take a listen to this.
No, it's not even.
In 1938, the Knights belonged to Harlem. The place to be was Club Sugar Ray's. The man to know was Quick.
Now, when you see Quick, I suggest you guys make plans to go elsewhere.
I ain't afraid of going up against Smalls or Calhoun.
That's because you're young.
Come on!
Full of vigor.
I work for Mr. Calhoun.
What kind of work do you do?
Whatever's required.
What would a woman that fine want in a big, fat, nasty, greasy, 12 sandwich eating? What does she want with it?
I don't know, man. She likes fat guys.
Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Danny Aiello,
It's nice to meet you.
Michael Lerner, Della Reese, Jasmine Guy,
I'd like to go upstairs.
Arsenio Hall,
Oh, Quick is mine. Gotta stop overreacting. Overreacting?
Harlem Nights.
I thought I was the only person who slept with his guns under the pillow. Look at her little gun. Oh, look at
Coming Friday, November 17th at theaters everywhere.
Nice.
Nice. That was a great trailer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed it. Well, if you haven't figured it out yet, we are doing Harlem Nights. And you can watch it on Paramount Plus, Pluto TV, and Sling TV. You can also buy it on physical or digital. I'm going to tell you what you can't do, though. You can't get Paramount Plus on a damn LG TV. I'll tell you that. We tried that, and it just did not work. There's some bad juju over here in this area. I'm just, But this movie was directed by Eddie Murphy, and this is the only movie he has ever directed. But it's also starring Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Jasmine Guy, Arsenio Hall, Della Reese, Danny Aiello, and Michael Lerner. It came out November 17th, 1989. Other movies that came out in November of 89 were Jacob's Ladder, Dances with Wolves, Child's Play 2, Home Alone, Rocky 5, 3 Men and a Baby, Predator 2, and Misery.
Oh, I like
Good
that one.
ones.
Damn, that's some good ones right there.
Good ones.
Yeah.
I've seen Dances with Wolves. It was long, but it was an okay movie.
Never seen that one.
Yeah, it's got Kevin Costner in there.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah, go Kevin Costner. You know what Kevin Costner kill. This movie made about $95 million on a $30 million budget.
Interesting.
Indeed. And the plot of this bad boy is that Sugar Ray, which is played by Richard Pryor, the owner of an illegal casino in 1930s New York City, and his adopted son, Quick, who is Eddie Murphy, the two face competition from gangsters and corrupted cops as they try to stay in business.
Okay, before we even start this movie, I watched it twice. First time ever seen it. And
it's the funniest movie I ever seen. Yep. No. I thought so too. Now let me go ahead and take care of this. Okay.
Did you realize that Quick was his adoptive son, the kid from the very beginning?
Yeah.
I did not. So the whole entire movie, both times I watched, I'm like, okay, the writing is like, okay, 1 minute they say it's his son. The next minute it says it's his partner. And then another minute it says that it's his friend. So I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? So I'm like, okay, it's his son. It's his biological son. But then when they had the sex scene with the woman, I was like, okay, so she's not the baby mama to the thing. So after I finished watching it the second time, doing my notes, Panda and I were in the bed finishing it. And I read the descriptive of it. I said, adoptive son. I thought that was his true son.
Oh.
It did not click with me whatsoever.
Oh, that is absolutely terrible. Okay.
It really is. Apparently I need to start reading the synopsis of it.
We start off with a beautiful saxophone solo here, playing as the opening credits are shown across this nice sky blue silk sheet.
2 minutes and 36 seconds of this music.
That's beautiful.
Way too long. They could have put that crap at the end.
I mean,
man, people just loved jazz back in the 80s, man.
Well, it's just like older movies. They always did the opening credits that were very long.
Yeah, we were just talking about this yesterday with Friday the 13th, where it seemed like every like suspenseful scene, it was always motherfuckers with instrumentals. And then the first 5 minutes of the movie is the last 5 minutes of the last movie. So they get invested in stories.
Well, they do something. Well, this is Harlem. In 1918, it flashes on the screen, and we see a street clock and a boy running down the sidewalk carrying a small paper bag.
Badass kid.
Yeah, he did not look across the street at all. He just went across the street.
Well, he ends up running down an alley. He knocks on this door where a man looks out the little peephole. You know, one of them old little sliding peephole.
For that one, how would he have ever seen the kid? Because if he went to open it, the kid was right in front of the door. When you seen him, he's just looking straight out. I'm like, he didn't see that damn kid. He don't know who the hell is out there. He just opened the door.
Maybe it's a midget.
Well, the door opens and the kid says he has Mr. Raymond's cigarettes. And the doorman tells him to go on in the back. And the kid goes through this place, and it's like a whole gambling, like underground gambling place. And there's women, there's crap tables, there's cards playing. But he goes behind this curtain to see some men gambling. And when he goes into the room, one of the gentlemen has a huge issue with kids.
Oh, yeah, he pissed about that shit.
Oh, man. And he
No
cussing like
teeth.
crazy. What the fuck this little motherfucker doing here?
The kids bring me bad luck.
Yeah. Apparently they bring him bad luck. So he makes a big deal about the kid being there before he rolls. And he's about to shoot this dice, and he's warning them.
Man, apparently he got a whole bunch of money on this, man. He got his life savings in this, man. And then he rolls and fucking craps out.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Damn.
Yeah, and this is when he gets upset. And he said, I told you kids is bringing bad luck. Now I'm going to roll again, and I'm going to take everybody's money. Or something like he's threatening he's going to take everybody's money,
He put out that pistol.
Yeah. He ends up pulling out a pistol on old Ray.
I thought it was a knife. Because he said he was going to stick him.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Okay.
It was like a pocket knife.
All
Because
right.
like when he pulled it out, he did like, and then he's like, I'm going to
It was
stick
Ray.
you.
It was Ray that was trying to go for the pistol.
Yeah, and then the
And the
kid.
kid got it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So let's go back a little bit. He tells Ray, that I tell you the kids bring me bad luck. And Ray says, what do the signs say that this place is? It's Ray's. It's my place. And the man's, because he's arguing that he's going to let the kid in here. It's up to Ray. It ain't up to this motherfucker who he lets in here. So the man says, he ain't buying it. He's going to shoot again. That's what he tells Ray. He's going to shoot again. Cause,
You mean he's going to stab again? He don't got the gun.
No, he's going
to shoot his dice. Dice. Pay attention.
Yeah.
Koala. Okay?
I don't know the terms
Well, the whole time,
for it.
Ray just sitting there just searching for his gun. Like,
Yeah, he's got Ray at knife point, and Ray's kind of reached under the table because he has a gun placed up under there. Quick saw what he was reaching for, and then next time we look back down there, the gun's gone.
Which pause? Did this kid ever get called Quick? Because then, if he was, then I would have put two and two together. That was he wasn't.
I think at the end, after what's going to happen, then they called the kid Quick.
Oh dang! I missed that twice.
Yeah, you got to start paying attention.
Well, Ray says that you lost. You know what I'm saying? Take your big ass home and brush that tooth.
He had no front teeth.
Well, yeah, while Ray's at knife point, he is reaching for that gun, and the little boy sees it. And Ray, he's having a hard time reaching down for this gun. He's reaching everywhere because it's not there anymore. But before Reggie was able to stab Ray, a bullet hole appears in the man's head.
Did you see that he blinks his eyeballs after he gets shot in the middle of his forehead?
Well, I mean, nerves and whatnot.
I'm pretty sure that's just bad acting or something.
He just couldn't believe it, man. He can't believe this kid brought him bad luck, and this kid shot him.
Well, they look back at the kid, and he's the one holding the gun. He shot the man right in the head, square in the head. And Ray says, the game's over. I'm going to take this. And he takes the gun from the kid. He's like, I'm going to take the little boy home to his mother. The boy says,
I ain't got no mama.
My mama dead. He said, well, what's your daddy? He dead too.
I think that's when he asked him what's his name, and he said, my name is Quick, or some shit like that. I think so.
Yeah, well, before that, Ray ended up being like, well, did you kill him? But, so since I was a gambling den, hindsight, I would either make sure that there was no weapons brought in to prevent him from pulling out. Because once people start losing, and especially their money and its life savings, people are going to get pissed off. They're going to do some crazy stuff. Or have at least a bodyguard. Because I didn't see no bodyguard. I didn't also see no chairs in there either. People just standing up the whole entire time. But about the gunshot, there was no blood spatter. And then also, the kid was a lot shorter than the guy. So, how did the bullet hole get in the middle of his forehead? Like, if he would have been a grown adult and shot straight head, then that would make sense. But, the kid's shorter than him. So, how did it get in the middle of his forehead?
That's called good aim.
My God. And so Ray says that he can stay at his house with him. And then we go to Fade to Black, and we get a little 20 years later. We see a neon signs for Sugar Ray Club. And a lot of people are having fun at this casino, gambling, dancing, drinking, just having fun listening to music.
They're looking good, man.
Looking good. And a guy comes to Ray's place, and his name is Tommy.
Tommy loud as hell, bro.
Yeah, and we see this young man was raised, we see Quick, and who the young man was Quick, and we see that he's been raised by Ray.
Which I did not. get that.
And he now helps him run the casino. And then Ray and Quick are talking about Calhoun, who's a rival gang casino owner, and his girl. Quick gets up to ask if he can be of any assistance to this lady who come in with Tommy Smalls, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy says, yeah, we're just guests tonight, because he works for Calhoun, who, operates the other rival casino.
Gambling.
And every time that he says his name, Mr. Quick, Tommy just laughs.
Something's up. Was he high or something?
Quick. I don't know why he kept doing that. But Quick introduces himself to the lady at his side, and her name is Dominique Leroux.
Ooh.
And Ray comes over and offers them a table, and they accept gladly. Ray gets on to Quick about what he just said, not to mess with that girl. He told him, don't mess with that girl now. She's going to be trouble. One of the servant women come up to Ray and tell him they're getting complaints about Benny's craps table. He asks why, and they say it's because his glasses. He's not wearing them.
So when Ray was talking to Quick about saying, don't mess with her, that's Calhoun's lady, he already knows how he is. So for me, I would have kept him on a tighter leash. It should have been, I'm laying down the law. Do not mess with her. Don't even flirt with her. Because even after he interacted with her, he was like, didn't I tell you not to mess with her? Which also, side point, he doesn't really have a very authoritative voice or his demeanor. Like, he doesn't seem like he's like an authoritative person. So, also, did we skip the part where Quick was talking about that woman's too fine? Was that in this scene?
No, that's the other one. That's the next one.
Okay. Well, I'll bring that up point then.
Well, we see a bunch of people rolling dice, and Benny's at the table, and he can't tell what the numbers are. And
everybody getting mad.
Yes, and every time he does it, they just can't get the dice numbers right, and he can't see very well without them glasses.
Yeah, the first time you see old Red Fox, man. I was so happy to see him in this movie.
Red Fox plays, he's playing Benny, and he used the excuse that he has something in his eye while he can't see the die, and one of the rollers tells him to get it out of your eye, you blind motherfucker. And Benny says, I ain't about to be too many more of them motherfuckers. And that's when Ray comes over and tells Benny he's got to wear the glasses.
I'm going to do a little early fact. Do you know Benny's nickname?
The No Eyes?
Snake Eyes.
Oh, wow. That's Benny. Well, Ray wants him to wear the things. He reluctantly puts them on. He does. And them glasses were thick.
God,
they were terrible.
Yeah, he limps back over to the table, and he can now see the die.
Well, for me, I would have made sure, because Ray immediately walked away. He just was trusting that those glasses that he just got would have worked for him. So I would have made sure that he was still being able to see and call it. Because, I'm assuming that if you don't call it right, you're going to be losing money.
Yeah, you're going to be losing money.
Well, he trusts his people. They've been in the business for a while, so I would trust old Benny. But we're cut to another location where we're introduced to Calhoun at his estate. He and his boys are talking about Ray's casino, and Calhoun wants to know who runs it and how much they make a week. And he decides he's going to pay Sugar Ray a visit. And he says that they're going to have to get rid of his establishment because it's hurting his business.
I don't get this.
Yeah, that's stupid.
So this part is where I'm already confused about, because it said it was 18, and then 20 years later, it's now, and he's still doing the same gambling den. So has this place not moved for 20 years? So how did Calhoun not, for Sugar Ray's place?
Yeah.
So it's been there for 20 years. How does Calhoun not know that it's there? And
it's probably too small, not making enough money, or he did move locations. We can see that he obviously has grown from what he was, with dirt floor, dirty walls and stuff, and now he's actually in a great establishment, and it wasn't cutting into nobody's numbers, but now he's making a lot of money. People aren't going to the legal establishment that Calhoun's running. And
Calhoun's is legal? Because I thought Calhoun was also illegal.
No, I thought he was running the Pity Pat. He had a whole thing. He had a name for it and everything. And the cops were working with him. And
I just thought he was illegal
the
too.
The way I looked at it was Ray takes the black side of the business, and then Calhoun takes the white side, because when you see Ray's side, you really don't see a whole bunch of
and you don't see at Pity Pat, you don't see black people that much.
So I was like, Why does he need to shut down?
Right.
Because no black people is going to be in your club, especially back in those times. Because that's when back when the era of what's it? Jesse, man, what's his name? The
Jesse
Olympic,
James.
The Olympic Jesse Owens, when he did the Olympics back in the time where Hitler was in power. So even he had problems getting in white establishments. And he won so many gold medals back in the day. So white people didn't want to be around black people back then, especially when like they were doing this.
Well, then with him, he automatically said he wanted to cancel, like shut down the place. But then his like lackey was there. I think that's later on in the movie, was trying to get money from Sugar Ray's. So that was another thing where I'm like, so which one is it? Calhoun said he wants to shut it down permanently, but then the cop is trying to get money off of him weekly. So I feel like, I don't know, the writing to
What
me
would be better?
wasn't, I mean, try to at least get the money if he's going to be.
And the boss doesn't know everything. He can be introduced to new ideas. Calhoun ain't, he don't know everything, but he's like, oh, wait a minute, that's a good idea, Kenton. Let me do that. Anyways, we're on this scene now. We'll get to that later. One of the henchmen says that he lost the handpicked numbers for Calhoun, and he lost Calhoun a lot of money. Calhoun said that it's kind of your fault, because he's talking to one henchman about the other one, because he said it's the first henchman's fault who didn't lose the money, but he recommended that second henchman.
He recommended Smalls.
So it's kind of his fault. And he tells him to put his hand on the edge of this piano. And the henchman does, and Calhoun slams this grand piano top on his hand.
Did you notice after that scene that this piano lid actually doesn't go all the way down to the piano?
Well, he says no one steals from me.
So there was no way that his hand would have gotten smashed in the first place because it doesn't actually connect. So that wasn't very done well.
Well, Calhoun says that the next time you bring somebody crooked into my organization, I'm going to kill you. He tells him, with your good hand, I want you to kill Tommy Smalls. Cut his throat.
Well, hold on. So he said, take your good hand. He said, I want to take care of your bad hand and then take your good hand and cut Tommy Smalls' throat from here to here. Why does he have to be so in depth with it? Obviously, he's not going to use his bad hand. Also, if you're going to say cut someone's throat, you don't have to demonstrate. Go from one side to the other. That just seems ridiculous, in my opinion.
Well, you could cut them vertically.
No one does that.
Back at the casino, Ray's getting a count of all the money that they made for the night. And Ray's a little concerned that his girl and Calhoun's number one boy had dropped by. That's when Vera shows up, who's played by Della Reese, because she has the count for the women that night and how much money they made. There was an issue between Vera and Quick, as Quick thinks that Vera's girls should have made more money. He thinks they're always coming up short. Vera said they made $200, and Quick thinks that she's stealing.
Which I don't get that. They're doing sexual things, correct? So how in the hell are they just coming up with $200 a week? That does not sound like a lot. If someone's getting there...
Is it a week or is it a night?
A night.
200 a night. Depends on how many women he got.
Okay.
Sounds like you're on Quick's side. Yeah. Well, Vera thinks that Quick is trying to say that she's stealing money. And Quick says that the girls are always coming up short. Now he said it's you or them that I have a problem with their arithmetic.
He fucked up in this scene.
You accuse me of stealing?
Yeah, he shouldn't have done that one in front of every damn body. And then if she's becoming up short every single night, that should have been a conversation a lot sooner. That shouldn't have been right the first couple times that it's happened. So that should have been handled completely differently.
Where's Sunshine and all this shit? All right, we're going to talk about Sunshine later.
That's what I was thinking.
Vera says that her and Quick are going to step out back.
Oh, yeah.
I do not like his laugh.
They both get outside, and Quick can't stop laughing at Vera. It's because she wants to fight him now. Because Vera says that you have insulted me now. I have to kick your ass. And then she punches him while he's laughing. How's that laugh go, Sam?
I don't know. I don't like it, though.
That's Eddie Murphy, man. That's a classic Eddie Murphy laugh.
But he got punched in the face twice, and he didn't come out with no blood, no nothing. He just looked perfect. No.
Sometimes you don't Don't really get
She's
blood.
not like holding her punches.
But yeah, he got upset after that. After them punches, thinking that he's like, "Oh, you want to fight? No, now you want to get serious." So yeah, those punches pissed him off.
Yeah, it did.
So now he want to get. So he ends up giving her a couple punches too.
Yeah, couple
Gut punches.
Yeah, and
2 pieces of biscuit.
yeah, he's talking shit now. He's like, "Yeah, I didn't want to do that shit. Now you made me do it now." And then that's when she raises up. Now that's what I'm talking about.
She hit him in the stomach a couple of times and give him an uppercut.
But still no
man.
marks on him.
No marks, but
He perfectly fine.
He did do the James Brown fucking scream. He uppercutted his ass.
Well, then she gets on top of him and she just starts laying into him, punches him in the face multiple times while telling him he must
And the next
learn
time-
to respect me.
You accuse me of stealing.
I'm gonna kick your ass again.
I guess this is just how it all gonna be. Y'all laughing y'all asses off, and I'm over here like I'm flabbergasted that he has no marks on him.
And that's when he grabs a trash can lid and smashes it on her head. And then he grabs a trash can and he throws it on her. And she gets up and says, "Oh, you want to hit people with the garbage can."
Love this movie, bro.
and she pulls out a knife and says that now I have to cut you.
Well, she said, "You must be crazy to pull a gun on me."
Well, that's when Quick, hold on. So that's when Quick pulls out a gun and tells her to put down the razor or I'm going to shoot you in your pinky toe.
I don't get this. She was the one that pulled a razor out first. She's acting like he pulled the gun first.
Don't pull a gun on me.
Right.
Well, she tells him,
Now I got to cut you.
he said, take your best shot. And he looks at her. And then
No. You missed the best part, bro.
okay, sorry. Let me go back a
Come
little
on,
bit.
bro. Come on.
She was like, yeah, take your best shot. Come on, shoot me. And that's when he says, I'm serious, Vera. I'll shoot that black, nubby, crusty thing right off.
Oh, now you want to shoot me in my pinky toe. God damn it. I love this movie, bro.
And she do say that. And she says, take your best shot. And he looks at her. And he looks at the boys who are watching the fight. And they kind of shrug at him like, well, she asked for it.
And you're like, all right.
Bam! And he shot her damn pinky toe. He shot her right in the foot. We can't confirm if he shot her pinky toe off, but he shot her in the foot.
So I had a side question with this one. I swore I heard her voice from 20 years ago when she was in the club. Was she with them from the very beginning? So why would he not already respect her if she's been in the game for so long? I'm making an assumption. I don't know if y'all picked that up.
Well, later on, as they are loading Vera onto the stretcher that is going to the ambulance, Ray tells Quick that you didn't have to shoot her in the foot. And Quick says that she was going to kill him. And Ray says, no, she was just trying to scare you. They go outside and they see that Vera's being taken away by the ambulance, and she's still threatening Quick.
Threatening the fuck out of him
Still
now.
talking shit. And Ray turns to Quick and he tells him to stop overreacting. Vera goes to the hospital, and Quick and Ray and Benny head to the house. They drop Ray off at his house, and when he goes in, he can hear music, someone singing. So he pulls out his gun, and he sees a guy in an overcoat in his living room.
A white man.
Yeah, it
In a black neighborhood.
turns out to be Sergeant Phil Cantone, who's played by Danny Aiello. Ray asks, what are you doing here? And he says, I need to speak with you, Ray. He asked Ray what he did for a living. Ray said he runs a candy business for the last 20 years. The detective tells him about Club Sugar Ray's, is the hottest spot in Harlem. Well, Ray denies owning it, and the detective asked if he's looking for a partner in the candy business. Ray says, no, I don't think so. The detective says, I must have been looking for the wrong person. You must be the wrong Ray. I'm sorry. I'll get out of your hair. And so he says, I'll see you later, Ray. And he ends up leaving. He did make a joke, though, about how Ray is, really, really nice dressed. And he said it must not be a nigga in a place with like a clean teeth or something.
Something along those lines. Like,
If a nigga got a cavity or some shit. But yeah, that was inappropriate of him.
I'm surprised that they let him say that shit around Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor didn't have a. I thought back in the day he didn't like that stuff.
I don't know. He's pretty easy going.
He is a comedian. I don't know.
Why would Calhoun care about Ray's place when he owns half of the other night places in the city? That's a question I wrote down.
Greed, man. It's just greed. They just want all the money.
He wants all of it.
I just keep coming back to the question. It's like, bro, they didn't like black people back in the day in Harlem. They wanted them to do their own thing. Hey, stay out of my clubs. Y'all do your own thing over there. It's like, why would you care?
Well,
they just wanted a
his
piece.
idea, from what I got from it, was that he didn't want his business suffering from it. But like you were saying, I don't see the white people from his business going to Ray's place when it's full of black people.
And it's to your other point. He don't want to see successful black people.
Yeah.
That's all it was. And Ray's talking to Quick, and he says that Calhoun isn't the type to mess with. And he's not sure if he'll stay around after that encounter with Calhoun.
So this was another part where I'm like, I thought they were all illegal gangsters. I thought it was like rival gangs. But from after this scene, I was like, oh, Sugar Ray isn't. It's a legal gambling den or illegal den, but he's not a gang. But with Calhoun, you were saying that it was illegally done.
Yeah,
so now I'm like,
illegal.
when is it? Is he a gangster? Is he not? Like, what the heck?
I think Calhoun has a legal business. I mean, he's still a gangster. He still does a lot of stuff.
Like on the side.
Like number running and stuff, yeah.
That's when the boxing champ walks in.
Oh, God.
And he has a real bad stutter.
I am highly impressed with this actor and his stuttering skills.
Well, Quick says that, hey, man, I bet a lot of money on you. And the boxer takes a while to say that
you gonna be a rich nigga.
Because come next week, I'm gonna knock somebody the fuck out. And he says, you understand what I'm saying? And Ray says, I understand now. It took a while,
but I got it.
I got it. And Benny says that he's gonna kill that white boy. And Quick says that they're gonna make a lot of money off this fight, 3-1 odds, because there's a lot of people that's gonna bet money on the whiteboard. And Quick and his girl are telling Ray that maybe this is nothing you know. I think we're jumping the gun on relocating. And Ray says it's because you're young. You know, Quick's not scared of Calhoun. And then that's when Ray's like, it's because you're young. You're full of vigor and a little ignorant. Calhoun can kill you by snapping his fingers. And Quick says, fuck Calhoun. And Ray says that you're in a very small league. And it's a big world out there. So he's trying to teach Quick, you know, there are some dangerous people out in this world, and then you need to recognize who they are.
Especially somebody like Calhoun who has half the fucking city on lockdown.
And he tells me,
well, and also they're white too.
Yeah.
The smart thing to do would be to pack up and move.
Well, also from Ray, I understood it because he was talking about how young he is. I thought he was like 20-ish. But after I found out that he was actually the kid from the very beginning, he would have been close to 30 years old.
I'm like 25, 26.
Well, that kid looked like he was 7, like 6, 7, 8 when he shot the gun and killed that guy. 20 years later would be 28.
26, 27.
Well, Quick says that he's not afraid of Calhoun. And Ray says that he has cops and judges on his payroll. That should make you feel a little something.
Yeah, and through the movie, you've seen it like a couple of times. Police stop people. It's like, hey, I got Calhoun stuff in here. People, the cops was like, oh, okay. Keep on going, sir. You good?
Mm-hmm. Now, Ray says that's got to make you feel a little something. It's got to change something in your mind. And Quick says it's not about how many people you shoot. It's who you shoot. Well, that's a pretty good little quote there. Yeah. But later on, Ray and his girl are laying in the bed talking about Quick and listening to music. But I don't know if you caught this. They're listening to Just One More Chance by Billie Holiday, which came out around 1959. But this movie is in the 1930s. So how did they do that? Anyway, Annie, Ray's girl, is concerned that Ray is still worried about the club. Ray says he's more worried about Quick. She says, don't worry, because he's young. He'll calm down. And she asks him, if we're going to talk about your son all night, or are you going to make love to me?
I already know this man who's, 56 years old? There is no way this man is fucking all night long.
Mm-hmm. Well, we don't know that yet.
Well, she wants
jumping the gun.
She wants to make love all night.
Yeah, both of you jumping the gun, both ways. He says, yeah, we could talk about my son in the morning. And she says, well, what if we made love all night and then all morning and then all afternoon? And he says, or what if we made love real hard for about 35 minutes and then fell into a coma-like sleep? And she says, can you meet me halfway? He said, I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, there's no way this man is fucking for that long.
Well, next we see Quick comes in excited about a letter that he had gotten from the girl the other night from Dominic LaRue. And he tells Ray that he had nothing to do with the copping in his apartment. But Benny says, where'd she get that LaRue name? And Quick says, I think it's Creole. And Benny says, oh, you don't want to mess with them Creole woman. You get a root and put it on your ass. Quick said, what's that? He says, a whole voodoo curse. And Quick doesn't believe it. But that night, the club is hot and jumping again. Mm-hmm. And Ray is walking around, surveying the club, making sure everything's going pretty good. And that's when Quick approaches him. And he asks, how did it go with the girl? She's still with Calhoun? And Quick says, you don't know. He's still working on it. He don't know. He's still working on, he's still working on the girl. LaRue.
Is this the scene? I feel like I skipped the scene where he talking with the 12 words. I wrote it down. It was ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, because he was asking what would
a woman that fine want in a big, fat, nasty, greasy, fat, stank, bloated, cheese-backed, 12 sandwich eating bastard. Good fucking Lord. That was too many fucking verbs. Way too damn many.
He was roasting them alive.
Oh my gosh. That was so fucking dramatic.
Mm-hmm. So Quick's still working on it. And I was like, how we doing tonight? And Ray said, we're doing great until a couple seconds ago. And that's when he spots the cop, Cantone, that was in his apartment. And the cop spots him. And he comes over, smiled. He says, hey, Ray, Mr. Sugar Man. And Ray says, I'd like you to meet my associate, Quick. Sergeant Cantone says, oh, yeah? Like quick to get your ass whipped. Quick says, the last time I had my ass whipped was 1912. And that was when the doctor smacked me on the butt. I'm still looking for him. Cantone speaks to Ray and he's like, hey, you lied to me, Ray. You told me you were in the candy business. Ray's like, well, you going to take me in for it? And he puts his hands up as if he's going to be arrested. And cop starts laughing and says, I ain't going to arrest you. I just want to talk a little business. So they go to Ray's office.
This part pissed me off.
Where Cantone automatically sits in Ray's desk.
But how did he even get there first? Because Ray walked him to his office first. So he should have gone through the door first.
I don't know. Was he fixing a drink or anything? Because I think that's common courtesy whenever you go into somebody's office, you want a drink, and then if he turns his back and then the guy sits down.
Motherfucker sitting in his damn chair.
But the cop says that Calhoun told him about this little gold mine and what they have here. And he says they're not going to shut him down, but him and Calhoun want a piece of the profits. And Ray says, well, how much do you want? And he says, well, you're doing about $15,000. So I say we take 10.
Jesus. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. And Ray says, you're robbing us, you son of a bitch. And the cop says, no, you're robbing the system. You're criminals. If anything, it's a pretty fair deal. He said if it was up to him, he would have you jigs barely enough money to function. Because he sees them with a fancy card and a nice house. And then he's left with nothing, and that bothers him.
Well, he said he lives in a fucking hovel. Hovel? Hovel? Is that how you pronounce it?
Oh, 1918 words. We don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, good plan,
but
man.
my logic is, how does he live in a fucking, trashy-ass place and dressing in some Macy clothes when he's trying to take $10,000 out of $15,000 that they make? That's, what, 3/4 of the money? How the fuck is he not making money? You would think he would get more of a percentage.
No. And then he asks Ray, so do we have a deal? And Ray says, well, can we get back to you? And the cop says, no, I'll get back to you. And when the cop leave, Ray, he wants a meeting with everybody in his office now. And in the meeting, Vera says that Calhoun can kiss her ass. She ain't giving him nothing. And everyone agrees. But Ray says, if everyone goes with my plan, we'll each have $50,000. And you can do whatever you want to. You can go legit, open your own business, start asking. They all start asking Ray, how are we going to get $50,000? And he said, well, there's going to be a $750,000 at the fight. And Quick says, they're going to rob Bugsy Calhoun. They're going to put money on the white boy. And the team says, no, man, no. And the other boxer, Jenkins, he's going to kill that white boy. He said, exactly. If he sees us putting money on the white boy, he's going to put his money on the black boxer, and he's going to put his money, all his other money, with the rest of the money that's going to be in the place. And they're going to think it's going to be fixed. And then what they're going to do is, before the end of the fight, they're going to take it all. So everyone leaves agreeing to the plan, and Ray says it might not be a bad idea to talk to Thomas tomorrow. Thomas Smalls, that is. And Quick says, why? And Ray says because Thomas Smalls might be able to loosen up and tell him a little bit about Calhoun and Cantone. Ray says, I don't think he's that stupid. Quick says, yeah, I think he is.
So, quick question. How did Calhoun know their numbers? They gave specific that they make $15,000 a week. Is there somebody in their ranks that is snitching on them or like ratting that information out? Like how they know that information?
Maybe they're like sitting around counting people that's going inside of the establishment, maybe.
And then also,
if
it's supposed to be so underground, why was Ray so surprised that the cop was there? Like, he already questioned him at his house. So why did he not think that he wasn't going to find where Sugar Ray's was at and go there itself?
Well, he probably already knew. I mean, they know about the club. Tommy Smalls was there, so he knew where it was. That's why he was telling Quick. He thinks his option is to move. They got to move.
I think it also goes to show that, like, they don't mind having white people in that place because they have no problem letting the cop in.
Right.
Well, the next scene we see Tommy Smalls laughing with a cute female while he's getting out of an elevator. But as soon as he takes a step out of that, Sergeant Cantone's there and he punches him right in the face, knocking him out. And he asks the lady, "You with this guy?" And she says, "No." And he's all right, thank you.
Definitely a smart way to do that.
Yeah, so Tommy ends up waking up in his own apartment a little bit later on, wondering what's going on.
He mad.
Yeah, he mad as hell. And Cantone tells Tommy it's time to pay the piper. He said, "The $5,000 you lifted last month?" Tommy says, I don't know what you're talking about, man. If there's a problem, we could talk to Calhoun. He can straighten everything out. And Cantone says that he already spoke with Calhoun, and he wanted me to tell you he's pissed off from you stealing from him.
How'd they know he stole? Did they have proof?
You know what I think?
What do you think?
I think it was the cop.
Henchman.
You think,
you think it was Cantone?
Putting the blame on the black guy? I mean,
I wouldn't put it past him. But Tommy says that he hadn't stolen anything. And then from outside, is where the camera goes, you hear gunshots. As you see a janitor who's like sweeping up the floor. You hear like 3 or 4 gunshots. And he stops for a moment, looks at the door, and then
kept going.
Keep it on moving.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it, man. Mind your own business.
See, this, I would have taken it a step further. Instead of just going right back into just sweeping that floor, I would have dipped the fuck out. Because he didn't know how long that those people were going to be in that room. So if they could have came out and they seen him, they could have been like, oh, he heard the gunshots, I'm going to kill you. So I would have just dipped the fuck out. And also, why did the cop need to shoot him 5 times?
Yeah,
he was such close range.
That's what the other guy said. He said he wanted to cut his throat. He said, well, cut his throat. It's a lot easier now when he's been filled full of bullets.
Yeah.
Well, Cantone ends up meeting Calhoun in a sauna. He just goes in there full garb on with his trench coat still, just sitting in the sauna with Calhoun.
I thought he hot as hell.
I thought that was kind of weird. But he's telling Calhoun everything he knows. Tells him that it's done. Tommy's dead. Cantone also tells him something weird happened. One of Sugar Ray's people put so and so much money on Kirkpatrick to win. And Calhoun says, no, that guy's going to kill Kirkpatrick. And Cantone says, yeah, they put more money on Kirkpatrick, 3-1. They're going to make $600,000 if they win. And Calhoun says, the sneaky bastards. They're going to fix the fight. He says Jenkins is going to throw the fight. Cantone asks, what are you going to do? And Calhoun says, I don't see why they should be the only ones making money. I'm going to put $500,000 on Patrick to win.
So hold
Pick
on.
up a little cash.
Pause on this part. This is another part where I got confused. So is Calhoun's place also like a gambling thing? Because my understanding it was. So why would he put money into his own business like that? Like either way he gets money, right?
Yeah, but he gets other people's money. He don't get, like, he wants to put something for himself. plus what everybody else is going to put in.
But wouldn't he pay himself then?
I mean, yeah, but that's with other people's money. Whenever he can make 3 times as much, he might as well can do that too. Right?
I didn't know. I figured because my understanding is since he owns that business, say Panda or Grizz puts that money in, he's paying them if they win. So if he's putting money into his own business, he's paying himself when he wins. Right?
No, I don't understand what you're saying. Yeah. He doesn't own the fighting or the production or anything like that. He's just a fan betting. Is that what you're saying? He owns the fighting?
I thought he was putting money into his own business because he owns a betting house and gambling.
Yeah, but
okay, so say 1,000 people are coming to our Christmas party, and we got a bet on how many ornaments is on the Christmas tree. And so I'm like, I don't know how many, so I'm going to place my bet too. Let's see, I'll put $5 on it. Everybody else puts in $5. Just because I put in $5 don't mean I'm getting my own money back. I'm getting everybody else's money too. I'm getting more than just my money.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, interesting indeed.
I don't know.
Don't ever go to Vegas, man.
Yeah, don't ever say that.
No, not at all.
Well, next we see Quick trying to go to Tommy Small's apartment as they discussed earlier.
With a white coat.
With a nice white coat. And the doorman tells him that sometimes the buzzers don't work up there. Well, Quick, he slips him a 20 and says, how about you let me on up there? And so he does.
I thought it was a 50.
Well, he slips him something. And then Quinny, not important. Let's keep on moving. That doesn't change the story at all. Okay. Quick gives him $50, $20, $100, doesn't matter. Gives him some money, and he goes upstairs. Tommy's apartment. And Quick opens the door, and he goes in and finds Tommy sitting on his chair. He starts talking to him, and gets to the front of him.
Hey.
And sees that he has been shot and his throat has been slit. He says, well, I'm just going to leave you here to think about why whoever you pissed off so bad, you see you need that time. So he ends up leaving, and on his way out, he is spotted by Tommy's brother.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and they're like, what the hell is Quick doing over there? And so they get out to go visit Tommy and see what's going on. Well, Quick shows up at Calhoun's establishment looking for Miss LaRue.
Not wearing that white jacket. That was a nice jacket, too.
Well, he finds her at a dinner table.
Well, pause on that real quick. After just seeing Tommy's murder, I would have never have stepped foot near Dominic because she's potentially with Calhoun. You already know he killed Tommy, so...
Well, you don't know that for sure. It's so dangerous.
You don't know that.
Some damn body killed him. I would not have done that.
You are. Well, he runs into Bugsy Calhoun there with LaRue.
Sitting at the same damn table.
And Calhoun asks Quick to take a seat. He asks if those flowers and candy are for him. Quick says, no, I brought them for the lady. And Calhoun's like, well, we'll give them to her. She loves flowers and candy. And Calhoun asks, how's the business over there at Sugar Ray's? And Quick says, it's all right. And he says, to Dominic tells me that, you guys are packed on a Monday. Nobody's packed on Monday.
He said, I don't know. I don't do the numbers. I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, he said he makes like $1,500 a week or something like that. He said, man, come on, then. He said, oh yeah, I don't know that part. And he said, well, that makes you stupid, Mr. Quick. And Quick says, no, I just trust my partner. And he said, how do I say that is? Calhoun says, how do I say that? That's too deep for me. Quick's like, you know what? This is too deep for me. That's what he says. Right. This is too deep for me. I'm gonna go ahead and go home.
Well, Calhoun's kind of acting like Quick's more into the business because I think at one scene he was saying that Quick built the club up when Ray was the one that built the club up.
Okay, you're jumping the gun again. Let's slow down. Let's slow down.
Scene?
Well, let's talk about this. What does Quick actually do for the business?
I don't know. Partner.
Maybe he's like a manager,
Ray,
like a assistant manager or something. Quick's trying to leave, and he says, "Well, what's your rush? You have some wine." Calhoun asks Quick if Cantone told him about their business proposition. And Quick says, yeah, he told us about your offer you made. And Calhoun says, no, I don't make offers. I make business propositions. And fucking semantics, bro. Yeah. Why does it matter what you say? It's the same damn thing. I just can't stand people do semantics. Calhoun says, yeah, I don't make offers. I make business propositions. And he asks Quick if he'll work for him at the Pity Pat. Dominique insists. And she's like, yeah, we could really use someone like you. And Quick says, you know what? I'm out. I don't
understand this. What is Dominique's role with Calhoun? I thought she was just a side piece or girlfriend, wife, whatever. But he just said in that scene that she runs or managed the pity pad and that he wanted them. Is he trying to get the black community to come to his club? Because Dominique's black. Possibly. So is that his way of doing it?
A woman of culture.
Yeah.
Well, after Quick leave, Calhoun asks LaRue if she would like to fuck Quick. And she says,
yes, very much so.
And he says, good.
I don't know. I could have easily avoided this whole scene because if I was Quick and walked in thinking that he was just going to see Dominique and he's seen Calhoun at the same table, I would just turn my ass right back around and left. Like, I'm not fucking with that. But they did say Quick's not scared of him, so that might be his stupidness.
Well, outside, when Quick leaves, he's followed by Tommy's crying brother.
Oh, that's so
which actually in the credits he has listed as crying man. He don't have a name. They pull up real close to Quick. Quick hits the brakes, causing the crying man to jerk forward and squeeze the trigger, and he shoots because the crying man's in the back seat. So they end up hitting the back of Quick, which causes everybody to move forward, and he ends up pulling the trigger on his gun, shooting the passenger in the front seat and killing him. So
he was overly exaggerating and fucking crying.
His permanent tears on his face.
So his eyes just big at times, and then it was very cringeworthy.
I'm sorry.
He kept running. You shot Junior. Junior dead. So they follow Quick with a passion now, and they get next to Quick and they scream at him.
Why didn't they just shoot him? They were literally right next to him for, I don't know, a few seconds up to a minute. They had the opportunity to shoot Quick, and they did not do it.
Well, Quick hits their car, runs right into the side of it, and then jumps out of his, does a little tuck and roll movement there, and he's almost hit by other traffic. But when the street's clear, he just gets up and runs and jumps through a window.
I would not jump through the window.
He couldn't find a door or nothing, open business or nothing. He just jumped straight through a window.
That's the great thing, too, is that he had to dodge a couple of cars, but then once he jumped through the damn window, there's no other cars in sight.
It's empty, bro.
It's empty as hell.
Well, the crying man, they get out of their wrecked car, and they find Quick is in that little window shop, and they tell Quick, he knows that Quick killed his brother. And they begin to unload on the store, man. Both these guys got Tommy guns, and the driver gets out, and he's got a revolver.
Pew, pew.
And they just, they unload on it. And that's when the crying man looks at him. Anyway, and he goes back to yelling at Quick, and then and he turns to the driver, man. Where you think you're doing with that little ass thing? Quit shooting that motherfucker.
Also, they were shooting the wood. Would the bullets not go through the bottom part of the wood? It was all wood.
Man, we don't know if it's brick under there.
Yeah, you don't know nothing. But anyway, Quick tells me, I don't know what y'all talking about, man. Just let me go. Just let me leave. And then crying man, the only way you leaving is in a casket or a body bag or something like that.
Box or something like that.
Yeah. And then that's when Quick gets up and he lets out 3 shots. Doesn't even really look. He just pow, pow, pow. And then he takes cover again, expecting more fire to come his way. Well, that's when Quick peeks up again and sees that he actually hit all 3 men.
He's so surprised.
Apparently, he's a great aim. Yeah, he's so surprised. He looks at his gun like, well, all right. Get the fuck out of here. Well, Quick gets back to Ray's, and he's asking how's everything. Ray asking how's everything going. And Ray tells him a plan to get the guy who picks up the money. Well, Vera says that she has a girl whose pussy is so good, if you threw it up in the air, it would turn into sunshine.
Dude, what made this scene is Red Fox looked in the air.
Benny.
Benny looked in the air. He closed his eyes. He said,
My thing also is, if the pussy is so good, how they only bringing in $200 a day?
Exactly.
Like, you would think that it'd be bringing in tons of money. You got this
maybe
motherfucker.
She the only
like,
one bringing in 200, and the other girls can't do nothing. They got that raggedy looking rabbit raccoon pussy.
They need work.
Not the rabbit raccoon. Well, a phone call comes in for Quick, and it's LaRue asking for Quick to come over, and he does.
this is so stupid. I would not even meet her. She was sitting at the same table as Calhoun. You know she's fucking working with him. Like,
but that's why whenever he was on the bed, he started searching for the gun and the pistols and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, he meets LaRue in her house, and they get to know each other a little better. He says his real name is Ernest Brown. And they start getting intimate, and she goes to the restroom. While in the room, Quick finds a gun under her pillow. And they both had the same little nice pearl grips, little pistols. But she had like a small little 22 or something that she had under her pillow, and he places his pistol under his.
Is this scene not cringeworthy for you guys? Like, they were downstairs, he was doing his ridiculous laugh. I never told anybody my name, Ernest Brown, but then he's just telling a random ass stranger. And then they, like, go upstairs. She goes to the bathroom to do whatever cleanup she does, and then he's just getting butt-ass naked and just laying in the bed like he's just waiting. Like, normally if they're wanting to have sex, they're not going their separate ways to unrobe and do all that stuff. They're doing that together. I don't know. It just seems weird to me.
This was back in the 1980s where the women had to look as good as possible. 1930s. Where the women had to look as good as possible, so they had to do their face before they started making love.
That's weird.
Well, she comes out and they get it on.
Which, before she even gets into the bed, you see that she has her long, like, nightgown, sexy robe thing. So when she gets into bed, she doesn't pull it up. So she climbs into bed. Her knees would have pulled her whole front of her gown down.
Now, this is silk.
Yeah, not if you know what you're doing, okay?
It still would have
afterwards,
pulled down.
They talk about her attraction to Calhoun, and she says that he's a brilliant man, and he has taught her a lot about the business, and you can't trust anybody because everybody in the business is a criminal. And that's when she pulls a gun out and tells him it was only business, and she pulls the trigger. Well, Quick had unloaded the gun earlier, and he says, well, this is personal. Pulls out his gun, shoots her right in the face.
Nice.
Did you miss the gross tongue scene? How much tongue he used in their kissing scene? Way too much tongue. Yeah. Way too much.
I'll just write him out.
And then also, how long does it take for the candlesticks to burn down? Because those candlesticks were burnt down.
Hey, they were fucking fall. Wow. Later at the bar, we meet the guy that is supposed to pick up the money. His name's Richie. And he sees this beautiful girl that offers him a drink, and he decides to take it. And she's laid it on pretty thick that she wants to be with him. And he falls for it good.
At first, he just looked so scared and weird and just staring. I don't know. He didn't look very interested.
Probably ain't never been with a nice colored woman, okay? Well, Quick tells Ray everything about LaRue and Calhoun, and Ray tells him that they aren't gangsters, but Calhoun is. Ray wants Quick to lay low until we pull the scam. Because if they kill you, they're going to have to kill me. Because I'm going to kill them. So we know that kind of sets the scene. Ray loves Quick. Man.
Yeah.
He loves him like a son. And he wants to protect him.
But also he knows that Quick is stupid when it comes to
young and dumb.
Stuff like that. So, bro, you just calm down, man. Let us do this, make the money, and then you'll be free.
Well, that's when the police perform a raid on Sugar Ray's place, being led by Cantone. He sees the champ and Ray sitting at a table and asks them to talk. He asks Jack for an autograph, just pushing his weight around, saying like he's a big dog. And he tells Ray he wants to know where Quick is. Until they find out where Quick is, you're shut down. Killing LaRue really pissed off Calhoun because the goal wasn't to shut them down permanently, but now that she's dead, Calhoun's pissed and he's like, you're shutting down until we find Quick. Well, afterwards, Jack offers Ray a ride, but Ray declines and hails a cab for him. Ray then gets in a car with Calhoun because Calhoun pulled up. And Calhoun wants to know where Quick is. And he asks Ray if he knows about Quick killing 4 people. Ray denies it, and Calhoun says Quick is going to make it 2 less jigs in the world. If you see Quick, you better leave. Ray says, is that all? And Calhoun says, yeah.
Ray is definitely playing with fire. Like, he already knows that Calhoun could kill him and has no problem killing. So just being like, is that all? He playing.
Well, since all the people that were arrested in his nightclub, Ray goes to the police department and asks to have all 125 people released on bail. And so the head cop goes back to the other cop and he's like, hey, this guy wants to, release all the people on bail. He's like, well, yeah, tell him how much it is, and he won't want to do it. And he's like, yeah. And he goes up to tell him and say, hey, it's $7,500. And then Ray's like, all right. He throws the money at him. And then in the morning, everybody's out. And everybody's getting in the limousines, riding off to their homes.
Yeah. I love the faces when he threw the fucking money up there.
Mm-hmm.
And Benny's telling Quick about how they were all released, and Quick asks how Sunshine is doing with the money pickup guy. Benny says he has already proposed 3 times.
Well, this motherfucker's already married with kids.
And Ray wants Quick to apologize to Vera about the incident. So he does, and he asked if she's okay, and says that he's sorry and that he appreciates everything that she's done for him. And she's kind of busy, washing dishes or getting a sandwich.
She's making a sandwich. Because
Yeah.
she was supposed to make hash and eggs, but Benny's blind ass didn't. It wasn't hash; it was something else. So she said it was tuna. So he's just like, "Well, make me a fucking tuna sandwich." That bread was thick as hell.
Yeah.
She plays it on tough, and she's like, well, take your sorry ass on in there. And when Quick leaves, she says to herself, I love that little boy. I love that little boy.
Also, is Benny and Vera a couple? I was kind of getting couple vibes.
I think so. They seem like an older couple.
Bickering. I love the bickering between those two, man.
Did you catch the birds calling her a fat ass too?
I didn't do that. Man, I got to go back and watch it.
Well, we see Sunshine with Richie after doing it good, and he wants her to stay, but she has to go because she has to, she's a pickup girl for some number running game, like we had discussed earlier with
Is
St. Clair.
that bad? Like, I know it's not technically legal, but is that terrible?
Yeah, it's illegal. You can't do that. He asks, where you be tomorrow night at 9? And she leaves, but she says, before she leaves, she's like, Richie, I think I'm in love with you. And she's something like, I was holding back before, but now, when I'm in love, I can really
give it all.
Oh.
Yeah, man.
And that's when he starts crying.
He did.
And so he rolls over, picks up his phone, calls his house, and his kid picks up. He said, yeah, where's your mom at? He said, put her on. And then he tells his wife, he isn't coming home no more. Take it easy.
After a one night stand, bro, how good did she gotta be for this motherfucker to leave your whole family, man?
Take it easy.
Wait, so at this point in time, that was their time that they had sex?
Yes.
So why in the hell was
night.
he already proposing to her 4 times
That
before?
it's gotta be so
was she
good.
sucking dick or something?
No, her pussy's so good they call her Sunshine.
Oh my gosh.
Well, back at Calhoun's, him and Cantone are talking about finding Quick and closing Sugar Ray's. And Calhoun says he wants it closed permanently. He's really pissed out. And that's when we see Ray walking in what used to be his casino, but it's burnt down. They damaged it beyond repair. And that's when we see the boxing match is starting, and everyone is in attendance as they are announcing the boxers. The white people all sit down when the champ is announced. Then the match starts, and Jenkins is killing Kirkpatrick.
Okay, so this might be really fucking stupid, but why, if the white people don't want to be supporting the black person and they just sit down every single time he gets a punching, what is the purpose of even being there in the first place? Like, you're missing the whole entire match with your prejudice. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it's like, why are they supporting that whole entire match? Are they just wanting to see the white guy beat the black guy?
Yes.
Obviously. How did you not come to that conclusion?
No, it's just not making sense. Like, why even waste the money?
Why even go there if it's going to be a black and a white guy fighting? Why even go there?
No,
Because I want the white guy to win.
But why waste the money? Because the whole match is white versus black. So to me, it just seems kind of like a waste of fucking money if you're not going to be there and enjoying the whole entire thing when the black guy is going to win.
You don't know that. They don't know that.
Oh, come on. He has won many times.
Yeah, but
I don't know. It just seems...
Kirkpatrick's the white champ. He's been beating white people up all the time.
It's just fucking stupid to me. Like... There's no point.
Why go to WrestleMania? If you only want The Rock to win or Roman to win, why go to WrestleMania? It's so stupid.
No,
that doesn't even make sense.
You're not understanding what I'm saying.
Nobody is. There are people listening to this podcast right now like, what the fuck is she talking about? Don't go to a match because you want somebody to win?
No, they're so against, like, they're being racist, like, to the point of they're just, I don't, whatever. Let's just take the whole fucking thing out because you're not getting it.
That is staying in there. I want everybody to be as confused as me. Listen, outside at another club, a Spanish one, we see Ray's men clearing the place by shooting in the air, and they get everybody to leave, and they end up leaving a couple packages in there on the inside. Turns out they were bombs, and it goes off. And then we go back to Jenkins, who is still destroying Kirkpatrick, and then we see old Richie checking his watch after picking up the money. Cantone is following him. Richie picks up Sunshine and puts her bag in the back with his money, which they look identical. Ray's men control the actual street lights. And this gets Richie T-boned by another car, and the cops show up almost immediately. But it's not really cops. It's actually Ray and Quick posing as cops, and they tell Richie that he is with Lady Heroin. And Cantone's watching the whole thing go down. They see that, Ray goes back to the back of the car and grabs the money. But that's when another police car shows up, and it's the real police. Quick and Ray try to tell them that we have this under control. This is our rap. We got it. But the cops tell them to shut up and leave. Well, Richie tells them that they work for Calhoun and that they take the bag and tell him to stay out of trouble. So they kind of tell him, hey, you Calhoun's guy? Oh, okay. Well, yeah, keep going then. Keep doing your thing.
Richie must be stupid because the Ray and Quick was saying that they've been tracking Lady Heroin all night, but she was standing at the corner for how long waiting for him to pick up? He should have been like, okay, that's not matching. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So he must be stupid.
I don't know about that.
What do you mean? They literally said that they've been tracking her all night.
Yeah.
Tracking means following her.
Yeah. I mean, maybe she'll lead us to a bigger heroin bust or something, but then Richie picks him up, so the cop's logic is, we're going to lose her now. Let's stop him. But they didn't even do that. They just saw the wreck, and I was like, let's just go ahead and bring her in. It could be something like that. But back in the ring, Jenkins finally beats Kirkpatrick, and Calhoun is worried. We then see Ray and Quick walk into an old bank, and Cantone follows them. He sneaks up on them and asks them why they are in an abandoned bank. And he starts laughing. I figured you'd probably enjoy something different. But why would you come to an abandoned bank? And Quick's like, can I tell him? And he tells Cantone, hey, we figured everything would happen the way it did, and that we aren't here making a withdrawal. We're making a deposit. And Cantone's like, what's that supposed to mean? And Ray says it means put your gun down. And that's when he looks behind him, and it's Ray's boys, and they got shotguns and all kind of guns aimed at him. So they end up tying Cantone up inside the safe. And they tell him, we'll call the police on Monday. And Cantone says, these things don't have a lot of air, man. And Ray says, well, Jimmy says you got about 2 days. Who the fuck is Jimmy? Is he a goddamn, what does he call him?
Some sort of scientist or something?
And he's like, well, Jimmy, was that right, about 2 days? Yeah, give or take an hour or two.
Why don't they just kill him? Like, what if they forget to call the cops on Monday?
They ain't calling the cops on Monday.
Yeah, they ain't calling.
He dead.
Yeah, he gone.
Why didn't they just kill him then?
Fuck
to make him suffer.
Yeah.
Damn.
That guy's an asshole.
Yeah.
And Quick says, take short breaths.
Damn.
He actually started doing that shit.
Yeah.
And they closed the vault on his ass. Well, we see Calhoun is very upset about losing that bet, which Richie comes in with the bag of Calhoun's money. And Richie's like, yeah, where's my money? Where's my money? Richie explains what happened with the cops, and everything's okay. I was with Lady Heroin. And what the hell are you talking about? And, he explains everything. And he's like, these cops were the black cops, and then the good cops came, and blah, 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 blah. And explains everything. It's fine. And he's like, well, where's my money? He's like, he checks in the bag, and it's not his money. He's like, it's the heroin. Why do you have heroin? And he's like, well, he told him again, I was with Lady Heroin. And he says, okay, so the cops got my money. He's like, yeah. No big deal. So Calhoun goes through the heroin, and it turns out it's just candy. It's just sugar.
Did you notice that the guy that got his hand smashed with the piano, he just kept looking at his hand, just like knowing that this Richie guy gonna get something worse.
So Calhoun is super pissed now, but that's when Vera shows up. She comes in and tells Calhoun, I never wanted nothing to do with the old Ray's plans, Mr. Calhoun. Miss Calhoun, I tell you, I'm an honest hoe. I'm a good, honest hoe, and I got honest hoes working for me. And we ain't nothing about no stealing.
Why would he believe her?
Well, that he does.
He does.
Yeah, he sets her down. And he's like, well, could you tell me where Ray is right now? Oh, they're over at his place right now. They're over at his apartment.
Why would he even let her leave?
Yeah, he says, oh, you let Miss Vera leave. She's a really respectable hoe in the area.
Okay, so what I would have done in this situation is I would have just taken Vera with me to the place to make sure it's not a trap. Because obviously they've already done a elaborate thing where they did the harem, which is actually sugar. So this is thought through. So I would have been like, this is fucking a trap.
But if you think you are a kingpin, you feel like nobody's going to backstab you. So that's what I think that he's like, no, I believe her. Let's go over here. Let's fucking take care of the situation.
Let's get it done.
And let's get it done.
But with that logic, I would think that to get him to be a kingpin, he's probably backstabbed a whole bunch of people to become the kingpin.
Yeah, but like now he's on top of the world, expecting nobody to backstab him. Especially some small, lowly, black, business owner.
Well, they end up making a trip over to Ray's place, and they arrive and start inspecting the place. They find Cantone's badge as they search the place, and Calhoun says, let me think. Something's not right here. He lights his little cigar, and he's like, wait a minute. It's a setup. And that is a little too late, because that's when an explosion goes off, destroying Ray's apartment and everybody inside. And then we see Vera leaving with Quick and Ray after shaking hands with the cops that picked up the money. Quick says, what we gonna do? And Ray says, we have a tank full of gas and a trunk full of money. And Quick says that that's a sweet combination. Ray says, yeah, sweet as sugar. And the scene fades to black, and the words go up on Harlem Nights.
So why are they still leaving if Calhoun is dead and Cantone is dead too?
You don't know if you killed the whole organization. Somebody might want revenge.
Yeah.
It ain't safe to stay.
And also, with Vera at the end coming out of that house, I'm curious to know if that's her house. Because everybody else had even Benny and Ray, all of them had nice fancy houses. But Vera came out of an outskirt house that didn't look so nice. So I'm curious to know if that's her place and she's just not making as much money as everybody else.
Yeah, because she keep coming up short each night.
Well, if she's coming up short, is she actually stealing? So if she's stealing, why is her shit not so nice?
Well, whatever. We're going to bring you some nice facts that you probably didn't know about Harlem Nights.
Extra, extra, hear all about it.
We got the facts.
All right, so I'll go first with the directorial debut. Harlem Nights was the directorial debut of Eddie Murphy, who also wrote and starred in the film. Grizz?
Mine, it has something to do with a background character not too many people know about. Does the name Robin Harris mean anything to you guys?
No.
No. He was one of the henchmen in the club whenever Ray had his thing. And who Robin Harris is, he is the guy that created Bebe's Kids.
How about that?
Yeah. I don't think you ever seen it? Okay. It's this late 90s, early 2000s cartoon about a black family where the woman had a whole bunch of kids and there's a single dad coming up and trying to live with the family and have a father figure around. And these fucking kids are bad. He's even got one where the baby has got a deep ass voice. It's pretty funny. I think you need to see it. 90s cartoon. It's funny as hell. Koala.
It says Paramount Picks wanted Robert Duvall to play Bugsy Calhoun, but Eddie Murphy insisted that Michael Lerner be cast in the role. Panda?
I think Michael Lerner did a great job. I like Michael Lerner. He was a bad guy all throughout the 90s for sure. Star-studded cast. The film featuring a remarkable cast, including Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, and Red Fox, representing 3 different generations of African-American comedy actors. Chris?
With that, all of these people that he just named, Eddie Murphy said that this is the single most funniest behind the screens film he's ever done. That's why I was telling Panda that if they had outtakes, I would spend money to see the outtakes of these, because you had the top 3 African-American comedians with Robin Harris, who was funny as hell. And I heard that Della Reese was funny as hell. And these motherfuckers are brutal. Koala?
It says, despite being set in the Harlem neighborhood of New York City, the entire film is shot in Los Angeles. Panda?
Wow. To add on to that historical setting, the movie is set in 1930s, and it also captures the essence of Harlem during the Prohibition era. Grizz?
The vulgar yet playful arguments between Red Fox and Della Reese it inspired Eddie Murphy to create a series called The Royal Family in 1991, which was Red Fox's final project before he died. Koala?
By his own admission, Eddie Murphy felt that he didn't dedicate enough thought or care to the directing of his debut. He was more concerned at the time with figuring out where the next party was going to be. Panda?
A box office success. Despite mixed reviews, Harlem Nights was a box office hit, grossing over $60 million worldwide. Grizz?
All right, we all know the nickname for Eddie Murphy's character was Quick, right? But I think I told you guys earlier that Red Fox had a nickname. It was Snake Eyes. Koala?
Eddie Murphy performed 4 roles in this picture. Murphy was the film's director, executive producer, sole creditor writer, and top bill star. And this is the only movie that Eddie Murphy directed. Panda?
Razzie nominations. It received 2 Golden Raspberry Award nominations for Worst Director and Worst Screenplay, both for Eddie Murphy. It's kind of fucked up since it was such a box office success.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's so funny, too.
Grizz?
All right. In the back alley scene where Vera pulls out a razor, you hear 2 different movies. You hear Jaws and you hear Psycho. Those musics whenever she pulls that out. Koala?
Fuck was spoken about 133 times. Panda?
Cult classic. Over time, Harlem Nights has become a cult classic known for its memorable quotes and scenes. Koala?
This is the 3rd film in which Eddie Murphy's uncle Ray Murphy had a small acting role. Beverly Hills Cop 2 and Coming to America was the other 2. Panda?
Real life inspiration. The plot was inspired by a real life rivalry between Jewish gangster Dutch Schultz and African American gangster Bumpy Johnson in the 1930s. And it was Bumpy Johnson's men who actually killed Schultz that stopped the feud between him and St. Clair that we spoke about earlier. Koala?
A unnamed actress in the film sued Eddie Murphy for $75 million for alleged sexual harassment. The suit was unsuccessful. Panda?
Ha! Let me suing Eddie Murphy, you son of a bitch. Tribute to gangster films. The film pays homage to classic gangster movies with numerous references to the genre. Koala?
3 actors from this film all had official cause of death listed as heart attack. Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Robin Harris, which Red Fox shortly passed away after the release of this movie. Panda?
And this was Red Fox's final film before he died. His final film appearance before he died. Koala?
Some critics felt that the female characters in Harlem Nights were underdeveloped and portrayed stereotypically. Panda?
That's it for me. Go ahead and finish it off.
I got 2 more. Eddie Murphy took boxing lessons to convincingly portray quick skills as a fighter. And then the last one is, as a child, Murphy heard stories from his father and uncles about the nightlife in Harlem, which influenced the film setting.
Well, that is all right. Thank you guys for those beautiful facts. I hope everyone learned a little something. Let's move on to our final thoughts. I thought that Harlem Nights was a good one. The acting at times was subpar, but could be overlooked while laughing at the comedy this movie brings. With people like Red Fox, Eddie Murphy, and Richard Pryor, you are almost guaranteed to laugh. The style of comedy is what some people say I do, which is quick jabs, which is just witty fun. And it's something that a lot of people don't catch, like the actual victims of the joke. They don't catch it sometimes, and that makes it even more funny. The twist at the end of the movie was brilliant, and it tied everything up real nice. I don't see why it is, it was hated for like worst director or whatever. I thought it was just fine. But yeah, that's my take on it. Koala, if you worked for Bugsy and he told you to have sex with a midget while holding these balloons, would you do it? or say that Harlem Nights was a good one?
Well, Calhoun would probably kill me, so I'll probably do whatever he wanted me to say. But anywho, I've never seen this movie before, and honestly, I'd probably not watch it again. Some of the scenes, it was like they were trying too hard on the comedy. For example, when Quick was describing Calhoun the first time, he described him with like 10 different words. To me, I don't know, that's not my comedy, so I didn't really find it too funny.
Yeah, you like farting in the bathtub, laughing your ass off.
There were some scenes that were cringeworthy, like the Smalls brother crying and trying to kill Quick. That was kind of bad acting to me. I didn't catch on that they were gangsters like Calhoun, but it didn't really seem like Calhoun was that big of a bad guy when he could have just killed them many times. Also, it kept going back and forth between shutting Sugar Rays down or getting tons of money from them weekly, which the cop wanted the money, but Calhoun wanted it shut down. To me, there was just details that could have brought the movie together, and it may have just been me missing the whole, adoptive son part after I watched it twice, and I still didn't catch on that the kid from the beginning was the same as Quick. So that may have just been me not really paying attention. And another detail is that it started with the 20 years difference, but to me it didn't make sense how Calhoun didn't already know that Sugar Ray was there. So there's just like little details I'm like, it could have been better written. So I would say this movie was an okay one. I still think Donnie Darko is the worst movie, but that may be a little close to being bad Donnie Darko. But it did have a decent plot, if only the acting and the writing was better.
I am sensing pure hate here.
Hater.
Anyways, Grizz, if you ran an illegal casino in the 1930s, would you let a cop call you a jig or say that Harlem Nights is a good one?
And let nobody call me no jig. No, I'll say this is the best one. Whoa. I absolutely loved this growing up, man. I remember watching this so many times because growing up, you want to see on screen what reflects your skin color. And we didn't see too many comedy movies where they get to outsmart all these other people. I loved it, man. I freaking loved it. And the jokes, they always hit. Even Koala was saying, it was too, like whenever dude was crying. It was funny to me, man. It's so funny. Because it's over-exaggerated, and it's supposed to be. And especially when they added on the revolver. Pow! Stop fucking shooting that damn thing. I'm scared. Yeah, I loved it, man. It was great. So I think it's the best one. If I don't see how they gave this the worst, like, director, actor, or whatever. But I think it was just like movie critics back in the day compared to now. Because I think it's overwhelmingly like one of the top comedy movies, because it has the top 3. Yeah, it's top 3 in the world of comedy. And I just look at them and just be like, whatever they come out with is just going to be funny. No matter the plot, no matter if it's bad, like, they're funny. And they were. So I say it's the best one. And you're not going to pull me off of this, Koala.
It's just not my vibe of comedy, I guess. Not my vibe of comedy, I guess.
And there you have it, guys. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that review of Harlem Nights. And we're going to get on into Movie 20 Questions. This month's submission comes from Marla of Smyrna, Tennessee. So let's start this interrogation.
Okay, so we're going to have to come up with a better game plan than last time. Because last time we were just so stuck on the actors.
I guessed it. What are you talking about?
What do you mean? You did not guess it.
I did guess it.
We got to come up with a better game plan on doing actors the whole time.
Let's start the question.
Do you want to do genre first and then year?
Yeah.
And then maybe dabble in some actors? Well, we'll get to actors. So genre, do you want to do... So Marla loves horror. So we need to add horror into it. So what? Horror.
How do you know this Marla person?
Because she's my mother-in-law. So I would say horror, comedy... Action. Okay. Is this movie horror, comedy, or action?
Yes.
I'm just going to ask about horror. Is it a horror movie?
No.
Oh. Is it a comedy movie?
No.
Action movie. Okay. Year. Was this movie made before the year 2000?
No.
Okay, so it's not before 2000. You want to do like 2000 to 2010 to narrow it down?
Yeah, let's do that.
It is a movie made between 2000 and 2010.
Yes, that's 5.
Yeah, it is 5.
Was this movie made between 2005 and 2010?
No.
Ooh.
Okay, so 2000 to 2005 movie.
Yeah. Action and... Ooh.
Okay, let me...
Now it's actors, right?
Yeah, action.
Let's go... Who was big back then? I know Denzel Washington.
Jackie Chan?
Yeah, Jackie Chan.
Oh, Denzel and Jackie Chan. Do you want to add a third one?
Yeah. Let's do Bruce Willis.
Okay, Bruce Willis.
Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Denzel Washington, Jackie Chan, or Bruce Willis in the movie?
No.
Oh, shit. So when it comes to action movies, is there different formats? Is this what we got stuck on last time? Like, could it be action comedy? Could it be suspenseful action? Spy action?
I think that's a fair point. No One Hears probably a action comedy.
But he did say it's not a comedy. Yeah. So would that take out the whole action comedy part?
No, I think what he does is if it's the second word, he's not going to say. So if it's the first word, then he'll say it's action. You know?
What about Vin Diesel? Because then he do action movies like Fast and Furious and the one where he wore goggles or glasses. What is that one?
Pitch Black?
Yeah. We could do Vin Diesel because that was... So Vin Diesel.
Or Chronicles of Riddick?
Yeah. Was any like superhero movies like Batman? What year was that? And was
I don't know. I know Matrix was around that time. Matrix Reloaded, I think.
Ooh. We'll need to do Dwayne Johnson too. He was in a couple action movies. That Walking Tall movie, that's considered action.
Yeah.
So Vin Diesel. Who do you think else?
I don't know. I know. I'm thinking it's got something to do with Panda's favorite movie growing up, because I think that was around 2000, 2005 with Charlie Sheen in there, and that's an action comedy.
Okay, well then that's Vin Diesel, The Rock, and Charlie Sheen. We'll do those 3. Is any of those in there?
No.
Okay.
Oh, damn. We're about to ask the 10th question.
What about what's it? Nicolas Cage?
That's a good one.
No, because he was good back in there. Matt Damon.
Could Dodgeball be considered a action movie?
That's all comedy. What about Jet Li?
Okay. So that's 3 right there.
Yeah.
Jet Li, Matt Damon, Nicolas Cage.
No. That's 10.
Damn. How are we going to get stuck on the fucking actors again?
I'm telling you.
Oh. Ooh, Will Smith. Didn't he play
Will Smith.
a couple of action movies?
What about Uma Thurman?
Uma Thurman, what'd she do?
Kill Bill.
Ooh, okay.
He was like with Lucy Liu too, right? Yeah, but you don't got to say Lucy Liu because she's in that movie. Angelina Jolie? Brad Pitt?
You want to do 4 this time?
Yeah.
Matt Damon. Did you catch those? Matt Damon, Angelina Jolie, Will Smith, Uma Thurman.
No.
What about Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp's a good one.
Ooh, what is the movie, the actors in SWAT?
LL Cool J. You already said Will Smith, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so.
So, okay.
He did it a bunch back in the day.
Johnny Depp. Is LJ in other action movies? Ooh, what if we just did Samuel Jackson? Because I feel like the other guy is not very popular enough to be in other movies.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, so Samuel... I misspelled that, but whatever. We need one more.
Samuel Jackson. Tom Cruise?
Ooh, yeah, we could do that. Okay, is Tom Cruise, Johnny Depp, or Samuel A. Jackson in the movie?
Samuel L. Jackson.
What did I say?
Samuel A. Jackson.
Oh, my bad.
No.
I think it's worth it to ask the characters, man.
What do you mean? I'm just still stuck. I would have figured she would have picked a horror movie. I'm gonna blank because I feel like we've done. Did we say Keanu Reeves?
We did not.
Okay, let's add him.
Excuse me. Wesley Snipes.
Okay. There's this other older white guy. James Bond. Who was that older white guy?
Richard Bronson.
Is it Richard Bronson?
Is it Richard Bronson?
Oh, good. Didn't you fuck this up last time?
I did.
Pierce Bronson.
Pierce Bronson, yeah. Who the fuck is Richard Bronson?
That's what you said last time.
God dang it.
You gotta figure that out.
Okay.
It's like that Bowman thing you keep talking about.
Devlin Bowman?
Yeah.
Okay, is Keanu Reeves, Wesley Snipes, or Pierce Bronson in the movie?
No.
Fucking A. We may have completely.
Owen Wilson.
What would he be in?
He was in Anaconda. He was in Behind Enemy Lines. I think it was about. He was in what was that? Shanghai Night? No, because there was Jackie Chan in there. He would have had to say that. I don't know.
What's in the Fantastic Four? Them people. The Jessica Alba or Chris Evans. I feel like Jessica Alba. She had that Eye movie, which that's a horror movie. But she was pretty big back then. We just need one more to fill this last question.
What about Andre 3000?
I've never seen that. Ooh, who's in Charlie's
No,
Angels?
the actor.
That's a person?
Yeah. Andre 3000?
I've never heard of him.
From Outkast? You never seen that? You never played Outkast? Oh, Panda, what the hell's going on here?
Oh, no. I have no clue.
Okay, so Owen Wilson, or is Owen Wilson Jessica Alba or that person that Grizz said?
Let's just say Mark Wahlberg.
Okay, Mark Wahlberg in the movie.
No.
Is this truly a fucking action movie? What's that in the...
Let's narrow down the year.
Okay.
Let's narrow down the year. Because there's too many good movies with too many good actors.
Right. Thinking
around
maybe
that time.
Charlie's Angels.
Maybe. But it had Lucy Liu in there, right?
Yes.
Say Lucy Liu.
Well, you wanted to
Oh, okay.
narrow down the year first.
Okay. Well, let's do the year that came out. What was that, 2004?
2003.
2003.
Do you want to narrow it down 2000 to 2003? Or is that too broad still?
Yeah, let's do that.
This is movie made in 2000 to 2003.
Yes. That's 15.
Fuck. That could be one. Charlie's Angels.
That's 2000 to 2000.
Underworld, my favorite movie. With Kate Beckinsale. I'm just trying to think what Marla would pick. Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock, yeah.
Okay, so
So let's do the women's.
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, Sandra Bullock. Lucy Liu.
Okay, and then Kate Beckinsale.
Beckinsale, yeah.
Is Sandra Bullock, Kate Beckinsale, or Lucy Liu in the movie?
No.
Damn. What's that guy that played Joker and he killed himself or he overdosed? Because wasn't he in another movie, like The Knight's Tale?
Oh, yeah, that's, that's so dang long.
Something Ledger.
Heath Ledger, yeah.
Heath, we are going to be doing our 17th question.
So, my favorite movie, Gladiator, was there. Russell Crowe. Did I already do Russell Crowe?
Mm-mm.
There's another Joker in there, too. Joaquin Phoenix was in there, too.
About Arnold.
Arnold, okay.
Okay. Is Heath Ledger, Russell Crowe, or Arnold in the movie?
Yes.
Oh, okay. How you want to do it? Those are 3 actors. Do you want to break it down to 2?
Yeah. Was the movie placed in Roman times?
Yes.
What are you thinking?
Gladiator. It's my favorite movie.
Who is that in it?
That's Russell Crowe.
Do you want to just say that? Or do you want to... We got 2 more questions.
What was the first 2 actors?
Heath Ledger, Russell Crowe, and Arnold. Do you want to just be like, hey, is this Heath Ledger and Arnold Schwarzenegger in the movie? Because we got 2 more questions.
Go ahead. I think that's what it is.
Heath Ledger or Arnold in the movie?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to just say it.
You got 1 question and a guess left.
I don't think I've seen Gladiator, so ask something specific about it.
In the movie, is there a part that says, "Are you not entertained?"
Yes.
Yeah. Then the movie is my favorite movie. This is my number 1, the top, tip top. Gladiator.
There it is. You got it, guys.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. You got it. Y'all barely got it, but y'all got it. Oh, my God. I thought Sam was on to something when she was like, who played the Joker? I was like, oh, Joaquin Phoenix. She knows that. She about to get it. Heath Ledger? I was like, oh. I thought she was on to it.
Yeah, it took her to say that, and I was like, wait, another Joker was in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all got it. Congratulations, guys. Maybe we'll get back onto the winning streak. Well, that's going to be it for us for We Real Reels. Be looking out for our next. We're going to drop 2 podcasts this month, the month of May, because we had some scheduling conflicts for last month. We couldn't get recording time in, but we're going to drop you 2 episodes this month, so be ready for Harlem Nights Now, and then Night Swim will be our next one. By the end of the month, we'll drop Night Swim. Check that out on Peacock right now, guys. That's going to be it from us and We Real Reels. Grizz?
Hey, check out our Instagram page, We Real Reels, on IG. Let us know what you think about it.
And Koala?
Bye.
All right, guys. Keep on reeling.